You know, my ex still misses me, but her shots are starting to get closer. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. Today we're going to talk about counters that you need for this current 3v3 season, at least some of the counters we need. So let's get into, well, first get into thanking my patrons and saying thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. I couldn't do this without you. And if you want to support the channel for free, folks, all you gotta do is hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment. Let's mount the algorithm together or separately as you see fit. Let's get straight into the video here, though, folks. So I don't. This one is we're gonna find a few different ways to counter this the Great Mothers, and I think this one, from what I've heard, is the most sketchy. So it's Malgus lead. They put the mark thing on Malgus, and then every time he takes a turn, he reduces his max health to eventually be 0. And it feels bad. My opponent did not have a necessarily very good cron, and I'm also, I suppose it should be admitted, I don't have a really great strategy here. I just decided to wing it. I was like, I don't know what beats this. See, I could have actually gotten fear on all of them there, except I missed the opportunity. I just didn't do it the way I should have. So you can see Malgus still looks like he's doing well, but he's kind of secretly inside, he's hurting. He is in pain mentally. So we're just kind of waiting to see how long he's gonna last. Pretty soon you'll see his health bar go to 0. It's fairly epic. In fact, we're hoping that Malgus is able, or Malak is able to, yeah, 4 straight, but there we go. So we got max banners there. This is with my alt, and I really didn't know what to expect at all. They didn't have a Datacron even, but we're using Traya. And I mean, the big thing is, of course, swgoh is pre-taunting, so they have to put the curse onto him, which kind of helps. I mean, he takes a lot of turns, so he's gonna get his reduced protection pretty quick, or reduced health pretty quick, but he does survive their hits, at least for a while. And the idea is eventually we're going to need Nihilus to annihilate someone. So putting isolate onto Morgan is great. You can see, though, that they have stealth, so we got to be a little bit patient. The other thing to note here, folks, and I did this a little bit later in the fight, but if whoever has the blessing, so the Great Mothers, if you don't know how they work, they hand out a blessing and a curse. The curse is on the opponent side, and then the blessing is on their side. You can see the little fist over the locked buff fist thing over the spirit's head there, and that means that they are immune to auto kill. And so if Morgan has that, then they're able to avoid being insta-killed. And so I don't remember if I do that in this fight or not. I think I try that, and it just doesn't really work. But that's okay. We're used to failure in these here parts. Yeah, see, okay, see, we tried to annihilate her, didn't work. Of course, she's low hit points, so you're gonna be able to take her out anyways. But of course, Trey is also on a deadline there. So, and then apparently, folks, if you do this, if you use Darth Revan and Malak and Dark Basti, you can get a really high score. So this is just screenshots that I took of people saying, I think this was like a 52 is what they said it was. I don't really know for sure. And then this one's a little bit harder to squint at, but it's the same team, and they just got a 57 doing the same exact thing. And apparently you just abuse the death mark rule. So Leia is, she just keeps being an issue, folks, and the good news is if they put Leia with R2-D2, Inquisition, have your back. So you can see R2-D2 has death mark, so does Drogon, and that's because they're cleansing themselves because of R2-D2's unique, which says if you crit someone, then you're able to then you cleanse all of your debuffs. And of course, Reva with her Zeta really likes that. Or is that, no, that's her Omicron, sorry, her lead Omicron is able to take full advantage of that, and then the rest of the Inquisition do it. Now in 5s it's a little more dicey, of course, even with really good modding against a really good Leia, this doesn't work as well, but in 3s apparently works really well. People have been wondering about this group has been around for a little bit, but this is with the Darth Maul revive Datacron. So once you kill him, he revives. And it also has the tank revive Datacron, which I was fairly dumb and didn't realize. Okay, so we also have a revive cron here. Is it a revive cron? I think it's just a revive Omicron. It's still a cron. Cron's a cron, folks. If you didn't know that. Yeah, I checked. You can see I checked his. I was like, oh, why did he revive? Oh, he's got the tank revive. So not a bad combo. So now we've got to kill Maul, or we got to kill Royal Guard, and it's kind of a mess. Bo-Katan, though, man, she is so useful, guys. She's such a good character. I like. She keeps rising on my list here. I'm like, man, you should work on her right away because she's just really good. Because people have been putting one thing that people have been doing is putting Starkiller with Lord Vader with the Starkiller cron, and she still beats that. She just beats all versions of Lord Vader basically, unless they have Traya on defense with him, which is admittedly pretty good. Okay, I just did this for the novelty, guys, because a lot of people get frustrated with me that I don't want to take General Skywalker for offense, and I just wanted to see how I wanted you to experience the novelty of Zereth using General Skywalker efficiently on offense, because apparently I kept him. I kind of forgot to place him on defense, but you can see against Nice Sisters, like my opponent just accommodated it perfectly. Just ruined that team. Good for me, right? Okay, so here's the thing, guys. I think that Rey with Cal or with Ezra is still pretty tough for a Seer Malicos team with a random third member, unless it's Starkiller. You can see Starkiller almost died there anyways, because dear lord, Ben at Relic 9 hits like a truck. Space truck, remember, we've talked about this. Space trucks are a thing, apparently. So, yeah, I mean, even with all of his assists, Cal is keeping her nice and healthy. Trying to figure out exactly how we can kill Ben. So you hit Rey, you target Rey because it hits whoever you target first, you get her into yellow, and then the other hits go on to the other characters, and because she's in yellow, then Ben is able to be one shot, and then you just waltz into a win. Hooray! Yay, 57, never a doubt, folks. Now, this team, I mean, this has been a while, this has been around for a while, but I just, it's good to reaffirm these things, right? My opponent has full Relic 9 team here. So you do the cooldown increase move, even though you can't increase their cooldowns, you still want that because you get a ton of turn meter and you want to kind of do it. You won't do it back to back exactly. I like Vader here just because he does his Merciless Massacre and he's able to get ability block on everyone, a little bit extra damage. It doesn't necessarily matter that much, but you can do that. I did the AoE there to get rid of all of their buffs because they had a ton of buffs there, and a couple of people had Foresight, I think maybe just Kenobi. And I'm not used to Queen Amidala just ducking out first, but I mean, it's fine. If you can spare Bane, you'll note that all of my counters this video are like, just use Bane. He's just the cure-all. Okay, here's a novelty team that I don't think is actually good, folks. I don't think this is actually worth doing. I promise you, we have the Fulcrum Cron, right? Datacron, and she's Relic 9, and I happen to have the Akbar Omicron, which I don't think is worthwhile for the most part, unless you have a bunch of Omicrons, you want to do something silly. But because she takes a turn every single time her opponents take a turn, and she has that move in the middle that let her just take people out, it's pretty nice. Now, one thing that someone pointed out was what you should do here, because the Datacron gives her extra damage when she hits. And see, that would have been just over if he had annihilated Fulcrum there instead. So not that consistent, but you should do your cool, that move, the one where she gets all of the buffs, and then do a basic, and then when they trigger a buff for her, then you can do your spinny trick and do extra damage. So I kind of played it poorly there, but apparently that can work. I just thought it was fun. We were sciencing, folks. So this is something I've been doing lately against people who don't have a really good like Jedi Datacron, and obviously there's not a good Jedi Datacron right now. There doesn't exist one, but this is against a Kenobi squad without a Datacron on my alt, but it works. It works, guys, for all the different teams. If you have Bo-Katan and you want to be daring, then you can take out the traditional Jedi Master Kenobi squad, and this was like the easiest version of that. So I'm not saying you should try that every time. I'm just saying it can work. I mean, not that maybe you should try it every time. I'm just, yeah. Anyways, so I should give you guys a big caveat here. I lost this one on my main account immediately. Like they just hard targeted Merrin and I lost, and that was that. So we're trying it again on my alt, which everyone is modded a little better, but I have way worse relics here. And I think it's weird that Talzin didn't revive, right? Like she should have revived there because she's revivable. They didn't like auto kill her, but somehow she didn't revive. Like there's some kind of bug here, I think, folks. But I mean, I don't think it's gonna break anything. So I did you do that second special there for a minute, just so that they just die of sadness instead. By sadness I mean you use the second special there just to make it so that an assist doesn't kill Chrysanthemum in that case, and let Chrysanthemum Chrysanthemum would come back or whatever, but you don't want your friends to revive, basically. You want both of your friends to die. And so apparently this still works on my main account. It didn't though, which is sad because it worked so well last 3v3 season. But part of that's probably, if we're being honest, probably because the Datacron was really good. I really wanted it to be otherwise, but so here, guys, you always watch at the end. You always have another Night Sister revive at the very end of this because they assist on whatever kill you do. But for some reason, the activation order is weird and no one revived there. I'm not complaining, I'm just pointing it out. Okay, so you want to kill Jedi Master Luke with what really easily? Just use Bane here. I did this for my alt account. My alt just killed, I think, I had one Galactic Legend on offense. I managed to kill, what, 5 Galactic Legends that were on defense, just because that's the off-meta thing to do, and it's not just like in Bronzium or something, guys. This was in Kyber 3. I'm not saying my opponent was the best or whatever, but anyways, this works. I probably should have sped it up at this point. Yeah, you just hit auto, because eventually you ramp enough, and he just doesn't. This white-clad fellow just isn't enough. He's not enough, and he knows it. But he's gonna fight in this weird A-wing, X-wing hangar. Is this from like episode 8? Is that where this is from, or is this like I don't know where this is from. What's the habitat, guys? Tell me in comments, please. I would like to know. Yeah, so anyways, I should have just fast forwarded this, guys. This is super duper easy though. Dude, just yeah, get him. All right. here's one that I'm not sure about this comp. I think Bastila is probably a slightly better lead for this because the big hit from Malgus won't usually kill you. And if you had targeted Revan right away, life might have been a little bit more difficult, but they don't have a Datacron here. This actually can work against a squad like this with, even if they have the tank revive cron. I did that a lot last 3v3 actually, and 5v5 for that matter, but typically you want Revan as lead. I do really like it when you have an opportunity to try using Jedi Luke lead. It's really nice because these guys get really fast from a lot of different bonuses, but they gain flat speed, which means that Luke is able to just reduce their speed to whatever nonsense speed. I mean, I don't have good mods on that account anyways, and I don't try to make him fast. So these guys are all super slow, and yes, they take some bonus turns and stuff, but you're able to just go in and do your business and without them dominating the turn meter stuff. So, and Luke is nice because he's able to, like, he doesn't get feared from all the doubt. He doesn't, like, he's able to, he and Cal can kind of operate through it, and then you get him heal every once in a while. So yeah, there we go, 53. And then, all right guys, this is a weird one because I'm not showing you how to beat the Traya team itself. I'm just showing you one way you can abuse this. Because we've talked about this before, but it's been a while since I've shown you. So this is a Savage with extra health on him. Not too much extra health, but with Gideon, he gives all anyone who is a support character a bunch of protection up. And when that happens to a Padme team, they get that, it turns into 20 stacks of courage, which 20 stacks of courage, each 5 stacks of courage does 40% max health damage. And so you can see Padme already hit Savage, he recovered a little bit of protection, and then Shakti, who's also a support character, does another hit, and you can see 56k per hit, 56k. He's like, I'll heal 717 of that, and then he dies, and then you lose, and that's it. I mean, you sometimes you get lucky enough, like if they isolate Shakti, and then you're able to. I mean, it's pretty rare that you can get more than this. So you don't want to do damage to Nihilus, actually. You don't want to mess with him. Just hit Traya as much as you can and see if you can survive long enough. Eventually, so if they isolate Gideon, sometimes you're able to get just enough courage onto Shakti and Padme that you're able to kill one of these guys off. And then once you kill Traya off, then Nihilus isn't that tough to kill typically, but it didn't work this time. And then you just finish him off with whatever you see fit. I mean, it's still a good team, right? So you don't want to use nothing. I don't even remember what I used, but I mean, see, we got kind of close to killing Traya off, even with Relic 7. Like, she's a little bit squishy. This is Relic 3 on Shakti, so it's not that impressive. But anyways, you guys can see how we lost here. Let's go into the game for just a minute, talking about the 2 new teams to counter. I didn't face them the last GAC. I couldn't find a video for you, so I'm just going to show you guys what to use on those things. So here we are. Here we are. Whoa, we're in the game. We're actually in the game, not just watching when I used to be. So this is against Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano, and honestly, so Leia, people are saying they fail sometimes with Leia, and I get it. That's sad. That's a bummer. Maybe you could try using Fulcrum there instead of R2D2. That probably increases. I don't know what the percentages are yet, so we'll have to check that out eventually. But the one that I've seen that works every time so far, which is like twice, but people have said it's really easy and like you don't even lose protection on either of them, is Sith Eternal Emperor with his provisional lifter unit, Darth Bane. And like I said, Darth Bane is the counter to everything this time around. And so this one works. Just remember, you can't get the auto kill on, is it just Ezra or is it the whole squad? I don't remember now, but it does work even without that. They ramp really well, they complement each other well. So in 3s at least this works. My guess is it doesn't work as well in 5s, but I suppose we'll see. And then against Baylan, if you see him, I think he's been killing Leia's actually, but if you see him on defense, you can use your Inquisition on him, and it gets a little scary, but it does work. And then again, Darth Bane, you don't need Sith Eternal Emperor here to kill him, but anyways, Darth Bane does the trick, and you're good to go. So anyways, those are the counters this time, folks. Let me know what your thoughts are. What things did I miss? Which things would you like to see counters for? This 3v3 seems a little less over the top ridiculous. Of course, unless you don't have Baylan and GLAT and you're facing someone who does. I think that's the exception. That's the ridiculous part. But everything seems at least somewhat beatable. We just have to figure out how. And I think this is a good formula, at least initially, to start figuring that out. So guys, I'm going to let you go. Thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Zereth prevails. Take care, everyone.